Yeah, hello everyone. So this demonstration, we will see how we can patch ESXi in the VCF ops. Wherever, let's say, we have current version running, in our case is 9100, and we want to patch it to 910.100. So we also see that, whatever the patch which we have just imported, is it eligible for live patch or not? And what we're going to do, there are primarily four things we will see. One, we'll first prepare the image in vCenter. Then we import the the image in the VCF ops. And then we will create the patch plan. And then we are going to apply the patch plan. So with that, let's go to the lab. Yeah, so we can see that we have one patch, which is live patch. I already imported that. And this is what the planned patch in this demonstration to the vCenter software depot section. And you see this is a eligible live patch, right? So this patch is eligible live patch. So how this is done, right? What I have done to get this in the list, that's what I'll demonstrate you now. So if you go to the actions right on the top, let me quickly go there. Okay, so if you see the actions and then there is an import update, if you click on this import update, right, you just browse. And I have another patch, right, which is of like 0200, just to demonstrate that, if what if the patch is not live patch eligible, how it look like. So it will take a while to import, right? Once it is imported, I'll come back and then show you how it look like in the list. Okay, so you can see now in the list, right, we have one more patch, which is 00200, but you see, right, this patch has no tag like live patch. But in the 100, it shows, yes, it is eligible for live. So one part is done. We have the patch imported here. Now we have to create the image using this patch, right? So go to the image library and click on the create image. Okay, give the name of your choice, whatever you want to label this. So I just put it as an A, okay, ESX 9.100, or whatever the name you want to give, that's completely your call. And then you just need to go to the drop down and select the image. So all images, all the the binary you have imported is listed here. So let's go for a live patch, because that's what the this demonstration about. If you have any other add-on, vendor add-on, or other components you want to be part of this image, that's the whole idea of using the image-based patching instead of WUM updates that we do in past. So then click on the save, and this will create this new image with that particular version. So we have done the part at the vCenter level. Now we have to go to VCF ops, right? So once you go to the VCF ops interface, yes, under the build and the life cycle, you see I have two VCF instances in this particular demonstrations, instance A and B, and we want this exercise for the B, right? So if I select the instance B, so as soon as I select the instance B, right, there is a patch management, sorry, the binary management, right? And you see under this binary management, I have only the previous version, right? Not what I'm planning now. So I have to go to import and then go to vCenter, and it lists you out all the available binary with your vCenter. Pick the one which you are planning for and just do the submit. You may have the VCF, right, which has multiple vendor, Dell, HP, and all. So you can have even multiple image imported, and at the time of patching, you can decide for this cluster which image you want to use. Okay, so it will take a while to get this image imported, right? So you can see the task in progress state, it is running, import is in progress. It take some time, right, to appear the image in the list. So I'm taking a pause here, and once it is available, I will back to start with next step. Okay, so now you can see I have one more image in the list, right? Apart from earlier, and now one more is there. So that make my image also ready in the SDDC instance or the VCF instance. Now the next step is I have to go to my domain and prepare the, oh, in fact, before that, right? I have to make sure that I have the patch binary also downloaded, right? Yeah, so under the binary management, right? As this is a patch, so it will be appeared under the patch binary, not upgrade or up install. So go to the patch binary and you see that I have ESXi with that 0100 and it is already downloaded. If not, right, your patch depot, the software depot should be ready and then just do the download for it, right? Once it is available, we are good to go for next step, right? So yes, that is available. We have done that part. Now let's go to the your management domain, right? The additional instance management domain, and then select the domain, and then we will go ahead with our next step. Okay, so now we are here. We need to go to the upgrade and then click on yeah, uh, plan upgrade, right? So we need to go for this patching, and then what we are going to do under this plan, right? We were targeting ESXi. So select the ESXi from the list, and then in the target version, right? If you see the drop down, it will show you the one which we have prepared, right? So 9.1.0.0.100, right? So once that is selected, we'll just go and say save. Click on the next. And then, once you go to the next page, it's so yes, you have selected the ESXi for this particular target version and then submit. So once this particular upgrade plan is ready, right, or the batch plan is ready, the next step for us is now we have to execute or we have to run that upgrade, right? So under the upgrade, if you go and see, now it is showing we have some, something there to upgrade, which was not earlier there. And then if you see there is something called pre-check. Ideally, we recommend to do the pre-check before actual upgrade, but as this is the lab, and I know that this will be going through because everything is fine. So I will be good to go ahead and uh, you know configure that. So click on the, and then you see here you have, okay, which cluster you want. I have only one cluster, but if you have multiple, you can say that custom. Then you can pick maybe the particular cluster which you want to be patched. On the next page, you can select the cluster, and then you have to now select the image. You might have multiple image with your repo, right? But which one you want for this cluster, which one you prepared for this cluster, right? So pick the right one. That's the key here. And then once you attach this, right, and then go to the next. Uh, Other questions are pretty, what we have even in previous cases. The thing here to see is the live patch, right? So yes, we are marking it for live patch, and it even says if still it find out the patch you are putting here is not eligible for live, it still go with the traditional method of putting host in maintenance, and if required, maybe reboot and all that, right? But in our case, we know, right? This is what we pick the patch. This is eligible for the live patch, so it will go for it. Okay. So with that, just go to the next. We don't have any standard host, so nothing to add or exclude. And then summary, if you think everything fine, you select the right image, finish. Right. Once you finish the task, right, it will take a while to appear. So now what you need to do, right, you have to just go ahead and say that upgrade now, or you may schedule it for later, right? But I'm saying that, okay, go ahead and upgrade now. And then during the upgrade itself, it will do the pre-check. But yes, again, disclaimer, in your production environment, always do the pre-check first and then do the upgrade, right? So now I'm doing upgrade now, and then it will take a while, right, to refresh the page and all. Okay, so now you can see that, right? The process started. You can go to the view status, and then if you expand, right, it will show you the individual task. First, it is doing the pre-check, and then uh, a lot of stuff it do in the back end, right, before actually hitting the remediate task or the remediate step. So it would take a while. Let it go, and then for sure, I'll in between will show you some of the uh, screens from the vCenter just to visualize, right, how the live patches look like. So you see now, yes, a lot of steps are already done. It is done with pre-checks, it done with some other uh, basic hygiene. Now it is checking for any DRS rules, if any, and then it's going to the remediate, right? So it already reached on the remediate stage. So now, if you go to the vCenter, right, let me see in the vCenter what is happening, because at the end of the day, it makes the call to vCenter, right, to get the job executed. So let me take you to the vCenter server. Okay, so if you see in the vCenter right here, there are some tasks already initiated. We're checking the compliance on the cluster for that particular image. And then, let me take you to the actual cluster and see the task on that cluster, right? So if I go to the, okay, there are four hosts. It has certain CPU and memory in use. Each host is running some VMs. That's all fine. And that is expected as well. So now let me take you to the task section of this particular cluster under the monitor and see what's happening here, right? Okay, so if you see under the task, right, it has initiated the remediate cluster. API call is there, and then it is also doing some, check for compliance, and then it's checking for some DRS recommendation and all, and then you see the one of the host already in the maintenance kind of the interface. But if you notice, it is actually the live patch eligible, right? So the host which shows us in maintenance is actually partial maintenance. That means this host still has VMs which are up and running, and none of the VM is migrated from this ESXi host. Right? So if you see the VMs, yes, this host still have two VMs running, and that will remain here throughout this task, right? Because this host is not going to reboot, nor it's going to be evacuate the VMs, right? Because the patch is live patch eligible, and host is going to patched as a live here. So with that, let it go. I'll just come back, and then we will see uh, once it is done. It will go to the next one, and accordingly, right, it will take all four one by one. And once all four done, we will see back into the ops interface as well as in vCenter interface. Okay, so if you see now the host is out from maintenance mode. Okay, you see the series of tasks happen. Host enter into maintenance mode, then some job, and then exit from maintenance mode. And now it is checking for the compliance, right? So that the host is complying for the image what you have mapped to this cluster. And then once this is done, that means the host is ready, and now the next host will be picked up. You see that immediately the host number 7 is into the partial maintenance mode now, and the same exercise going to happen on this host. Wherever on this host also there is VM, and that will still keep running up and going. So once this is done, I'll be back, right? So I'm putting a pause here, let the process go in the backend, and then we will see. So now see this particular host is done with the new patch, wherever one in progress and two more to go, right? So see you in a while. Yeah. So I'm back. So now you can see this patching exercise, right? The task is completed. If I see the VCF ops, so you can see that it took around 33 minutes, 7 seconds to get the task completed. Right. So if I go back to the instance here, okay, let me exit from the task status. And if you see here now under the upgrade, all the components, right? What we create the upgrade plan that was for ESX only, and now the entire domain is running on the target version, whatever we have, right? So if you go to the current components, yeah, rest all is 9100, what ESXi is on 9100, right? So patching is completed, took around half an hour. Let me go back to the vCenter and see from there. Yes. So this is your vCenter. If you see the update level, it has that image which we have mapped, controlled by SDDC right now because this is VCF infrastructure. If you go to the individual host and see for the summary, yes, it's running on 100, right? So with this, we just, what we summarize. Okay, let me summarize what we have done, right? So we imported the ISO image to the ESXi first, verified that it shows it is eligible for live patch. Then we went back to SDDC manager and import that image to SDDC manager, sorry, the VCF ops imported there. Then we have the binary downloaded for the same version. Then we created the patch plan, and then we have go ahead and deployed the patch plan, right? So with this, it conclude the demonstration of patching of ESXi. Sorry. So let me go back to this one here. Yeah. So this complete, what where we were earlier, and now we are on this version, and the patch is completed, right? And no host reboot, no VM migration from that host, which is in patch exercise. Thank you for watching. See you in some other interesting video.